What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another guide in my Warframe free-to-play series, and today we're going to be talking about the Jackal boss that you are going to fight on Venus. The Jackal is the first major boss you will pretty much fight in your free-to-play playthrough, other than Captain Vor, who you fought in the tutorial, but quite honestly, Captain Vor was not that difficult. The Jackal is kind of your first introduction to how Warframe boss fights work, as he goes through several phases, and you have different ways you can take him down. He's a fairly straightforward fight, though. Even early on, he's not going to be terribly difficult. He just requires some patience and some decent aim. Essentially, the way you have to defeat him is each one of his legs has a shield and armor value, and you have to damage his legs enough to get them down to 0 hit points, and then he will collapse and be vulnerable for a little bit of time for you to kill, or for you to damage. So it's pretty self-explanatory. In his room there's going to be 4 pillars, and you kind of want to just run from pillar to pillar and use them as cover and whittle him down from a distance, concentrating fire on his legs. Now you can just focus on one single leg, though they do get more difficult to take down, and they regenerate armor quite quickly after you've initially taken one down. So the most effective way to beat him is to actually go for each leg individually once, or if you have a really powerful weapon, you can just mow down the same leg over and over and over again. In this video, I kind of try to go for all 4 legs and then just get bored of doing that, and I just start working on his 2 front legs over and over and over again. And this can be a pretty effective strategy as well if you have decent mods on your weapons, and especially if you have magnetic damage, because that can rip through those shields real quick, and corrosive damage as well for the armor that his legs have. So he goes in a few phases here. After you damage the first leg and knock him down, he will start to use the machine gun. That's his main weapon. He chases you around firing his machine gun everywhere. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it can whittle your shields down really, really quick, and you don't want to get caught out in the open just taking a bunch of damage from it. He'll eventually start to shoot a big cloud of missiles at you, and those can do some serious damage and knock you down, so you want to avoid those at all costs. Basically, all you have to do with those is run around in a circle, use whatever evasive maneuvers you need, but just run around and they'll eventually crash to the floor. And then he also has a stomp similar to the Shockwave Moa, which will actually affect the entire room, so if you're out in the open when he uses it, you will get knocked back. If you are hiding behind one of the pillars, though, you will be safe. So the pillars do kind of block you from that damage and prevent you from getting knocked back. The most annoying thing about this fight, though, is that every once in a while he will summon these Ospreys that drop mines all over the floor, and you can see that in this video. And a bit of a sloppy run here, as I do run through the minefield a few times, but this is about the 3rd or 4th run against Jackal, my farming run, and I was just kind of trying to get this finished. But you do need to pay attention to those guys, because if you ignore them, like I do in this video, you'll see that they just drop mines everywhere, and then they start to knock you down, and they can just become a really hindrance to your battle, where instead of being able to focus on Jackal, you actually will be more concerned about trying to get those Ospreys out of the way. And once 4 or 5 of them come on the screen and start dropping mines everywhere, it can get really crazy. So make sure that every once in a while you're looking around for those Ospreys, taking out those smaller mobs so that you can focus on the main boss. Now, at this point, if you're in the free-to-play, you're probably going to have Excalibur. You should have your weapons and overall your frame somewhere around probably level 20 or so. Even if you don't, even if you're still like in the low teens, he should not be much of a problem. As I said in the beginning, this is just going to be a patience fight. You really have to just work around him and concentrate your fire on his weak points. He's really not too terribly hard to beat, and he can't really kill you very easily or very quickly either. So just keep running the circles around the rooms I've shown you here, and honestly, pretty simple boss to defeat here. Now, the reason you do want to farm Jackal early on is he's going to drop parts for the first Warframe that we can build in our free-to-play playthrough, which is going to be Rhino. He drops all the parts for Rhino, the chassis, the near optics, and the systems, and then you'll have to buy the blueprint from the market. But it's really, really easy to farm him. I farmed up Rhino. It took me about 35-40 minutes to actually complete the farming runs. And any of the extra blueprints he drops, you can actually sell those for credits, so that's pretty nice. He will also drop a mod every time you defeat him. It's usually just a regular kind of crappy shotgun mod, but every once in a while he can drop a silver or even a gold. If you want to check out his drop tables, they're at the Warframe wiki, which I'll put a link to down below here in the description. But like I said, this is a very easy boss fight. It's very simple, but it's also a good learning curve for you as an early player in Warframe. It's going to teach you kind of the boss mechanics and the rotations. Most of the bosses in Warframe, once you learn their mechanic and the way they rotate through their cycles, they aren't horribly difficult to defeat. Some of them can do a lot of damage. Some of them have some insta-kill mechanics that can be really annoying. But for the most part, when you're well geared, the boss fights are not going to be a massive issue. They can be difficult, but it's difficult in a way that kind of challenges you as a player, which is kind of fun. It's not like they just make these unfair boss fights or boss fights that are way too easy. So that's kind of the enjoyable aspect of it. After you watch this video, I should have some videos coming soon of how to craft Rhino. We'll go over that, and there's also there's going to be a Jackal boss fight in the playthrough video, which is probably a little bit better than this one, because this one, like I said, I get kind of sloppy and kind of screw around here, but you know, not a really terribly difficult boss fight here, guys. So if you have any questions at all about anything you've seen in this video, please do let me know. And as always, I will try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. Also, there's a couple guys who watch my videos who are pretty big Warframe players, so they can always help you out too when they see the comments. But overall, just real simple, quick and easy boss fight here. Go out there, beat Jackal, farm up your Rhino parts. It should not take you very long at all to do this. And you can get some affinity while you're doing so, running those farming runs. So overall, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are finding this Warframe series helpful. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again next time.